find them. I've got no roots.
Hello, my little rockers. Pissing me off.
What the hell are you doing, Corbin? My mom said if you want to become a lesbian, you have to lick carpet.
This is Uncle Stewie again with a very special announcement. Pissing me off.
That rocks.
Get over it, guys, okay? Get over it.
I agree with you 100%.
Now that we've dimmed the lights in the studio just a little bit, do you think that you could calm down?
It's time for the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem with Linda and Darren.
Singing is the lowest form of communication.
Homer, you sing all the time.
No, I don't. I hate to rhyme.
You like musicals, don't you, Dad?
No, I don't. I think they're bad. They're fake and phony and totally wrong.
Wake up, Dad. You're singing a song.
I wouldn't. I couldn't. I hate that stuff.
Now, Homer, listen. I've had enough. In our family videos, we have plainly seen you're a singing, dancing, entertainment machine.
Hanging from a tree, and the ground never seemed to be so far away from my feet. And as the years speed by, I take a long road back, and the ground seems farther from my feet. Life's so hard to keep on track. Every time I see myself, I know what you don't see here. Writing's no longer on my wall, written all over me. I can't change the way I live. You wanna say I'll get old by. Every time I look in the mirror, tells me who has who.
Hey, we are back for another show. How's it going, Ken?
Pretty damn well. I'm on the mend. You know, I was a little broke dick last week, but you know,
Yeah.
time goes by, you start to heal. It's not as fast, you know, as when I was like a 20-year-old. But you know, it's more like when I'm an 80-year-old. Kind of feel like you these days.
Well, I'm not
Shit just
quite
breaks and doesn't get
80.
better.
What are you trying to say here? Jesus, why are you going to be so angry?
I'm just saying, at least your hair looks good today.
It does. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
How's my forehead look? It's very large.
Kind of brown.
It's kind of giant, yeah.
Did you get a lot of sun this week or something?
No, I didn't get a lot of sun this week. It's just because it's dark in this room. We keep it dark in here, so you don't have to see me up close at any level.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you imagine if the walls were still white and just beaming on his freaking...
God, it was just a reflection off my forehead. You could watch a movie on it. It was horrible. But I am excited because I got my Girl Scout cookie tins. I got the mints and I got the caramels and I got a couple extra by. I got some dark chocolate for Linda, who is running late, but she will be here shortly. But yeah, I'm gonna have some snacks. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway,
I love those little tins, man. When I was growing up, my mom used to have those fucking things everywhere, all over the house. Like she'd keep, it'd be a junk drawer on every little one at the end table, one over here, one over there, and just stack whatever the kind of crap that's in there.
I like them because you can put, I save change, so I fill them up with change, and I fill them up with, stupid keys that I no longer need. Why is it
more junk drawers?
What? Yeah, they're like junk drawers. They're just like junk drawers, except you take them and you fill them up with shit, and then you put them in a drawer, which becomes a well-organized junk drawer of junk that you're never going to need.
So what are we going to be talking about today, man?
Well, I'll tell you, I got a couple of things. One of the things that's kind of been on the topic has been all over the news is this killing of this 16-year-old kid last year, and
26. 26.
26 what?
He was 26-year-old.
No, I know, but it was last year. It was in 2016 is when it happened, in January of 2016, and I didn't do a lot of homework on it, but I watched the video, and I have to tell you, the only thing that was more disturbing than that video that I saw was the videos I watched of the beheading of Christians by ISIS. That was, and it was like 40 of them. So that was really hard to watch and very disturbing because I honestly, I didn't want to believe that shit was going on. And I watched the video because how do you talk about it? How do you understand? How do you feel something so horrible unless you really watch the video? And I know Linda would never watch that video of that kid getting shot, but I'm telling you, man, that was so screwed up. I can't even get my head around it. And what was a shame about that thing was, all these other cops that were around that had no need, no feel to pull the trigger, but yet this guy shot this kid five times.
I thought was kind of weird because you see in most of these cop interactions where you've got a large group of officers, they'll usually always, like, if one starts shooting, everyone will start shooting just to cover their own asses because they're all waiting for it and expecting it. But in this instance,
I don't know that
it was
believe
just
that.
I'm just saying it's anecdotal. I'll give you that, but
I don't know that I believe that. Like that guy who shot that kid in Chicago, shot him like 16 times or something. Not everybody else didn't start shooting him, I mean, there's a point, and this goes, it plays to your point in what you think and believe, and it plays to my point that, although these very, very horrible incidents are brought up, it makes up a small faction of people having to do that difficult job. But the kid had a pellet gun. He was drunk. He's on the floor. He's trying to pull up his pants, and then he's dead. And
he was killed because he was stupid, quite frankly. I mean, the guy is, who the hell goes around and waves a gun around in this climate out of a fucking hotel window?
Well,
this was pre-Vegas, so you can't
right.
put that,
you can't tie that
on
all
there.
Together.
But it wasn't a smart thing to do. It wasn't illegal. He committed no crime. There was no victim. But he certainly didn't deserve to die. And I think it really comes down to a lack of proper training and proper management of stress for these individuals, because there was no reason. That guy was terrified. The officer was terrified.
Yeah, I think that, one, being that kid and being terrified, and being the officer and being terrified and not really know what you're walking into, I kind of get it all, but I agree with you 100% on the issue of training and having an understanding of how to read the situation, and that's a very, very terrible thing, and it's disturbing. It hurts me, it does, because I don't want to see innocent people die. But there is the one side of it where we have to say, listen, if we're going to take risks, especially like you said, in this climate, in these difficult times where there's so much going on. Police officers are taking so much heat. People are becoming so rebellious and wanting to I think that there's a lot of people out there walking the fine lines from what they say to the protesting. Man, we just seem to be on the cusp of some very, very weird shit potentially happening, and I think it's happening already, and it has been. But which leads us and brings me to, you know, some things we're going to talk about today. You know, we're clearly talking about this now. I kind of want to get, when Linda gets here, I really want to get her input on this and what she feels about it and what she knows about it. Her and I haven't had much time to talk this week. We've both been very busy. But this is an important topic. And then, you know, one of the other things I wanted to talk about is I can't take any more of this nonsense about Trump being racist. It's really pissing me off. And, you know, I thought,
no, Dag's on the Trump train.
Well, listen, I
choo choo.
I voted for the man, but I also voted for Obama. So you know,
How does that work?
Well, because, you know, at some point I'm just tired of things, you know, and you got to look at things. But there's a lot of good things that are happening under this Trump's administration. Now, a lot of people don't necessarily believe that, but the stock market's up, unemployment's down, manufacturing jobs are being recreated in this country. You know, to
Where?
what level?
I mean, I know there's that
there were
Amazon.
over 40,000 jobs created just this past month alone, and 208,000 this year
Now,
in manufacturing services.
Who's creating that, though? Like, is that private individuals or is that government?
Oh, stop! Government isn't. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but you know,
it's a loosening of those regulations.
Unemployment's at
4.1%.
4.1% hasn't been that low in almost 20 years. So we have to.
I don't trust those numbers either.
Okay. Well,
all right, I'm done interrupting you.
Well, here's the thing. Listen, if we're not going to trust any of the numbers, then everybody go out willy-nilly and fucking figure it out for themselves.
Yes.
So, you know, that's not going to happen. Which is, you know, I have four topics I wanted to go over today. One, I want to play a lot of great music. I found a lot of cool new music. Two, I found some funny shit I'd like to talk about. You know, well, I just wanted to share. I don't know that I want to talk about it because it was a really cool, funny thing that I saw with Donald Trump. And even though I voted for the guy, I got a good enough sense of humor to go, that's goddamn funny. So, we're going to play that later on in the show and talk a little bit more about this poor kid. But then there's also that other side where how did this fucking guy get off who murdered that immigrant who murdered that woman? And he, you know,
now this I'm going to need more details on.
I'm going to save it till next week because there's too much to it, and I really wanted Linda's input on it, and I know she didn't do her homework on this topic. So let's start the show off. We just played Alice Merton, The Roots.
I love that song.
Isn't that
ever
song
since
intoxicating?
That thing's been in my head all week, man.
It's got the great bass.
I
Like,
don't know the lyrics, but yeah, it's fucking great.
Yeah, it's
I
a
fucking
great
absolutely
song.
love it.
Well, and I kind of watched a bunch of her videos this week, you know, and I don't know
for the music aspect of it, right?
Well, yeah, just for the music. She's cute as a button, but she does a lot of shit in Germany. So I'm wondering, and I've heard her talk. She completely has an American dialect. So, but she does a lot of stuff. Apparently, she's huge in Germany, and she's been on all these German television shows, and she speaks fluent, I think, German or Swedish or something. I don't fucking know, something in that region. And again, this is where Linda would be great to be here, but does she speak
German? Ist ein mein Leben? Or
why does it say Linda's watching? Where the hell is she? For the love of God. She took my grandkid, my grandson. She has this routine with my grandsons where she takes them to this whole Christmas thing every year. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's a big deal for her. And yeah. So anyway, that's where she was.
Hopefully that pastor that's like going around and ruining Christmas for kids doesn't find him. You hear about this guy?
No, what are you talking about?
This guy he's like this pastor that like goes to like various like malls and will just be like, Santa's not real. The Christmas is about Jesus Christ, and he was born on December 25th, and we're celebrating his birthday. Like this guy went to Alaska and to Santa's workshop up there where they're having this public event. And he goes in there and he's just starts reading off scripture, and this is all bullshit.
Jesus.
Oh my God, are you serious, guy? Like, it's a complete violation of private rights because for one, you're trespassing. At that point.
But it's
for
just,
two, you're being a dick, man.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. You're just a dick.
I don't believe in Christmas. I don't celebrate that crap. I don't believe in Jesus either. But I'm not going to go around and fucking smash on people's dreams for it either. You want to be dumbass and believe all that crap? Cool, go ahead.
Well, here's what's funny. So you don't believe in Christmas, but I know you have kids. You celebrate it.
Yeah.
And I'm not a religious guy. I'm Italian. Grew up, Catholic, and then. My dad got mad at the Catholic Church and Lutheran. As a matter of fact, I talked to him today when we were texting. He was in church. Excuse me, I just had the hiccups. He was in church, but, I celebrate the holidays. I celebrate it with my family, and, it's fun for the kids, and that's kind of what it's about. I mean, I don't think Linda and I have exchanged Christmas gifts in years because it's about the kids. It's about, doing something like I buy gifts for my kids.
It's about having that little elf on the shelf teaching kids.
Yeah, I like the elf on the shelf.
Oh, God, that's fucking security surveillance training,
man. Oh,
man.
my God, it's funny.
Surveillance state training. It's terrible.
Oh, stop. It's fun. All it's supposed to be is fun. Don't be such a freaking buzzkill.
Hey, I'm not the one that's aggregating all the information for the American people and storing it in some data center in Utah.
Everything isn't about the American people and politics and social issues. Sometimes things are just fun.
I really wish that was
You need
true.
to fucking lighten up. Hey, listen, this is a great song. This is a great band. Kevin Lee and the Kings. I want to play this tune. I've been listening to these guys a lot, and I'm a big, big fan. So this is Kevin Lee and the Kings featuring Russ Shirley.
My car
like
Yeah,
that.
that's an awesome tune, man. It's Kevin Lee and the Kings. I really, really like that. That's just, again, straight up old guy rock and roll, man. Chick bass player who's smoking hot, and yeah, and they're all, you know, I don't know. I think the great rock and roll really starts to, you know, happen as you get older. It seems to be a routine and a thing that's happening now this day and age.
Or is it just that you're older, so that kind of music appeals to you?
Why are we dressed the same?
I don't know.
Why are we wearing exactly the same goddamn clothes?
Kind of, yeah.
I haven't seen you in a week, and here you show up, and you're late, and you're dressed like me.
Yeah, well.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Just wanted to feel connected.
So anyway, all right, we're gonna play something else, but here's something I thought you guys might find interesting. You know, we're going into the holiday season here, and you know, there's a lot of people. I see a lot of shit on Facebook about people. You know, a lot of people aren't rich. Most people aren't rich, so they're struggling with their money.
Is that right?
But they have great senses of humor about this, and so here's a song called "I Don't Want to Check My Bank Account."
I'm too scared to check my bank account.
I'm too scared to check my bank account.
Ooh, that's funky.
What's funny is he's wearing a McDonald's shirt. If you look on the video, and he's got Zubas on. He's playing the drums. He recorded the drums, and he's playing this little shitty fucking $10 keyboard.
The kid's got skill.
Yeah, he's got some groove.
Oh yeah, he's clearly talented.
I mean, it's a shame that he has no soul.
Here it comes.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is a ginger.
He is. He's a ginger.
How's he putting so much funk and soul into that music if he doesn't have one?
Check my bank account.
That's because the banking cartel has a lock on the monopoly on Chuck's money. Don't blame him.
Now, he ought to be able to get a gig.
Well, he's clearly he knows how to play that little $20 keyboard he's playing, that little Casio. And he's a hell of a drummer too. He can keep time. Lewis Cole is his name.
Check him out on YouTube, Lewis Cole Music.
Oh yeah, he's got over 600,000 views.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a video like that. I'm too scared to check my bank account.
Too scared to check my bank.
I love that. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
And then something else I ran into. Now, Linda, you'll appreciate this because you are a big Talking Heads fan. As am I.
Yes, I am.
But you are probably even a bigger Talking Heads fan than me.
Yes.
So you guys will like this.
Oh, that looks creepy.
Oh, just watch. Just look at. So, I'm telling you, man, people are so damn creative today, and technology lends to that creativity. It's really brilliant.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack, and you may find yourself and you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile, and you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and you know you may say to yourself, "Well, how did I get here?"
That's freaking awesome. Whoever did this, Swede Mason, dude's a genius.
So, yeah, but of course the audience can't see what we're
No,
watching,
but you got to
so
go
they
to
will have
YouTube. You
go
got
to
Trump. It's just Trump versus Talking Heads. Type that in. The video's awesome.
Right? Am I wrong? And you may say to yourself, "My God, what have I done?"
the visuals are just hysterical. I'm gonna check it out.
You guys notice he no longer looks like a Cheeto Puff?
Whatever.
And he doesn't anymore.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He has like a
It's
normal,
because it's winter.
PR people
normal
got rid of
flesh
that.
tone.
Because it's winter.
It's winter.
You don't think
lose
they
your
exist.
you lose your fake tan as Christmas comes. I love it, man. Freaking brilliant.
That's great.
Love that kind of genius. Love that kind of genius. And also, you know, I'm seeing a lot of stuff on Facebook and in social media about people being really depressed. So I got a song by this really talented young lady who she wrote this unbelievable tune. And maybe we'll play that now so we can get past all the depressing bullshit of the show. Oh, you know what? I got this guy. This guy's a lot of fun.
Oh no!
You know who you know who this is?
Yeah, I saw this one.
Mordecai.
Oh my god, this kid.
This is an Asian kid with his mother in the car all the time, and he does this.
Super expressive with his facial expressions.
Oh, he's great.
He's super entertaining. But...
Yeah, he's awesome.
Oh no! Here we go.
His mom's got those big Christmas glasses on. She's just driving.
Feliz Navidad.
Another instance where we need OBS. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Jingle bell, jingle bell.
See, what'll be fun, and here's what I think I can do here until we get the software rocking the way we want it to, is I can put a TV screen here that everybody will be able to see everything we have up there. So I can split that signal and bring it here. And then right here will be this cool TV screen. It'll be pretty neat.
You're thinking way too much, bro. You don't even need that.
No, I do, because that software, which I looked up, means we have to change how we feed the whole show.
You can't run it off of the...
I can't run it the way we're changing the feed, and which would mean if we're going to do that, then we have to go where we're already planning to go when we get to the sound stage with multi-camera shoot. So, all in good time, my friend.
And since we've no place to go,
Soundstage professional.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Who the fuck is cleaning that, man?
He's awesome. So
And Mom just sits there with such a straight face.
she just looks at him. She never cracks a smile. And he's got like a whole slew of videos. You know, it's called Car Rides with Mordecai.
I guess it just proves that you don't necessarily have to have some actual real talent to become a sensation.
Look at how
You
many
just got to be
views he's
entertaining.
got. Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
6 million views on that video. 4.9 million views on this one.
Crazy.
9.6 million views on this one.
I bet you he's making money off his YouTube account.
So yesterday, I took the grandkids to a kids' Christmas party thing.
Uh-huh.
And grandson Aiden wanted to hear Christmas music in the car. And I'll be damned if I could find any. I mean, I know it's there.
Well, that one
93,
channel.
93.7, 93.
No, was it what?
know.
104.3, I think, is all.
No,
No,
104.3
it
is this new like oldies
Oh.
hip hop at R&B. It's super great, but
Yeah,
that's
one of
not
them's
Christmas.
all Christmas music now.
I know that it's got to be there, but I couldn't find it.
Well, you get out of
And,
your
like,
58 Bel Air with an AM radio,
Yeah.
you'd probably be able to find
Well,
it,
I tried
Granny.
the AM band too. Maybe I just went past it when they were doing a commercial or something, but yeah.
As far as I'm, it's 97.3 or 90,
Yeah,
90,
one of-
93.7 or 93.9, one of the two.
Yeah, one of them's got all
Ladies and gentlemen, if
Christmas
you guys,
music.
listeners, if you guys know which station is, you're all Chicago. Most of you are Chicagoland people.
Just tell us.
You know, throw it in the chat room real quick. You know, help us out here.
Yeah, don't keep shit a secret.
We need,
So,
your, we
and
need your help.
I have to say that I was happy.
And
The
Miss Sal.
smaller of the younger of the grandkids, no tears with Santa. It was great.
That's awesome. Leon?
Yeah.
How
You
old
can
is he?
say his name.
He's 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Leon.
3 in a few days, but yeah.
His name is Leon, and his middle name's Kai, and his last name's Villa. So Leon Kai Villa. It sounds like rims. It's like, hey man, just got some new Leon Kai Villas.
That's
Check
kind of
it
an
out.
awesome name. Yeah, he got hooked up real.
Check it out on my
Yeah.
Cherokee. I got some Leon Kai Villas.
I mean, now kids are horrible.
Or shoes.
Kids always make fun of kids. How are you going to make fun of that name? Like, how would an 8-year-old be
just-
like, oh, you're stupid with that?
Or
name?
when you see his dad, you'd probably rethink making fun of him. His dad is huge. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's big.
He's big. And he talks like this. My son-in-law, he's like, how are you? How you doing?
Ooh, soft spoken.
Yeah.
He's like,
Just carries a big stick.
oh yeah, okay, all right, that's nice, that's great.
Yeah, he's very mellow.
Yeah, super mellow, but big. I mean, big, like my size.
Oh, that's huge.
Oh, no, he's way bigger than me. All right, listen, I wanted to throw some props out here to Chloe Adams. And Chloe Adams is kind of an international sensation on YouTube. She's got a lot of music she's done, but she wrote this song, so we're going to get the depressing shit out of the way. But this is an unbelievable tune, very well written lyrically. A lot of props to this young lady in sending a message and telling a story. This is The Doctor Said by Chloe Adams.
I'll be lost inside my head, bad thoughts till 4 a.m. and I'll try to sleep. And I can't tell anyone, I'm so scared they'll get up and run, so I don't speak. And oh, I miss when we were younger, the days were so much funner, weren't they? Oh, I book a new appointment, it's another disappointment. They're all the same, same, same. When the doctor says I'm fine, one in morning, one at night, these pills will help you remember how to smile. But what does he know? 'Cause I feel so alone, and Mom and Dad both tell me I'm alright, 'cause the doctor said you're fine. My own mind can lie to me, they'll say it's anxiety, but I just think it's me. Now I've lost so many years, my pillows are tissue for my tears, but you never see. And now I can't even eat my dinner, Mom says I'm getting thinner. Am I? Oh, I book a new appointment, yet another disappointment. They're all the same, same, same. When the doctor says I'm fine, one in morning, one at night, these pills will help you remember how to smile. But what does he know? 'Cause I feel so alone, and Mom and Dad both tell me I'm alright, 'cause the doctor said you're fine. But he don't care about go home to his family. Why does no one see? I'm not the girl I wish that I could be. 'Cause the doctor said I'm fine, one at morning, one at night. These pills will help you remember how to smile. But what does he know? 'Cause I feel so alone, and Mom and Dad both tell me I'm alright, 'cause the doctor said I'm fine.
Yikes.
Well, that's very painful.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking depressing.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people feel that way, and a lot of people are sad, you know, for whatever reason. I don't know. Sometimes I think I have an answer to it all, and then most of the time I realize I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So trying to comment on it seems relatively stupid as things go. But beautiful song. That is The Doctor Said by Chloe Adams. Look her up on YouTube. Very talented young lady, and doing great things with some music. And what the hell was all that? Oh, here he comes. So as we get close to Christmas, everybody's just dicking around, taking their time, late. Ken was on time today, though, for the show.
First time in like
I miss
weeks.
Uncle Sal.
Yeah, where's Uncle Sal?
Well, he told us last week he wasn't going to be here. He had a prior engagement, and, everybody tries to squeeze us in as we could. I thought I was going to be doing the show myself today, but then finally Ken texted me, and then you were on your way, so...
Yeah, well, just had a little snag in my morning. But,
try talking into the mic.
But I wish, we miss Sal when he's not here.
We do. We always miss Sal when he's not here.
It's always much more fun to make fun of you with him.
It is. Well, he's a champion and a professional ball buster, so he knows how to bring it. He knows how to bring it and make it all happen. So what's new with you, Linda? Anything exciting?
No, I just had the fun time with the grandkids yesterday, and my niece and nephew and other nephew, and so it was fun.
Cool.
The kids had a blast.
You don't have your headphones. They're not even plugged in.
Because when
they mess up your hair.
No, because
your hair.
A, I'm not really sure that I need them, and B, when I did attempt to put them on, there was some hissy sounds that.
I got to do something about this goddamn amp. This freaking headphone
I'm just
amp
wondering
is
where you
pissing
bought
me.
these wonderful headphones. Did these come?
It's
from?
not the headphones. It's the amp. It's the amp and the connections. Because everybody has, inexpensive headphones as headphones go, and they have 1/8-inch jacks. But when you buy studio quality headphones, they have 1/4-inch jacks, and they'll go into a 1/4-inch slot. So when you're using 1/8-inch jacks, you got to use a converter that converts it to a 1/4-inch, and it's always exactly. That's how I feel.
TMI.
About it. Yeah, well, I'm just telling you. You ask a question, I'm just pointing it out.
Okay.
I'm stating the obvious here.
It wasn't obvious to me at all.
Well, now it should be. It should be totally obvious now. God, I hate both of you right now.
No, you don't. You love it. You love it. So we were talking earlier about a couple of different topics, and Dag wanted to get your opinion on the Mexican guy that got it. What was it?
Well, I'm sure she didn't. I'm sure she didn't do her homework on it. So let's save it for next week.
That's right.
Yeah, I told you. I'm sure she didn't do it. She didn't. She was late getting here, and
just grind it in.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm clear that she didn't do her homework, but that's all going to change next week.
I didn't know what the homework was, so
you didn't do any of it. You didn't even try any homework on your own.
Worse than my algebra teacher.
Yeah, it's just.
Whatever. Oh, you didn't do the homework? You didn't give us the homework.
Well, listen. On Wednesdays now, I'll send out, the show topics. Everybody do your research and bring them. We'll only have a couple. We only have a couple of them we talk about in each 2-hour show, so we play a lot of music too.
That'd be great.
So, but one of the things I wanted to talk about was I wanted to talk about the music business. Now, I found a couple other radio stations on the internet, which it's pretty cool because they're playing, unheard of music. One of them plays a lot of the
kind of metal stuff, like
take a pass,
which is great, but it's not the kind of music that the Mayhem, we'll play a song like that from time to time. I like Five Finger Death Punch as much as the next guy, but at least they split up the gargling with the singing. So
that's an apt description.
That is an apt description. So anyway, but I found these other stations, and they're all doing a good job. If anybody's out there promoting, one of the things that I got into a conversation this week about the music industry, and since we're a music show that talks about news and current events and shit that's going on, I figured it might be important every once in a while for us to talk about the music business. And one of the things that artists, especially up-and-comers, bands that are trying to get heard, because everybody's complaining about how much they don't get paid for doing a gig when you're, basically a nobody band. You have to take every single show. You play every show. I don't care if it pays $50 at this show and $200 at this show and $800 at this show. You play every show. You
got to get exposure, right? I mean,
yeah, it's just
nobody hears you. Nobody will ever want to hear you,
right? So one of the things that bands I hear from bands, and there's this like radio industry thing, and I'm going to get some more information because I reached out to them this week. That's out of like LaSalle, Peru area here in Illinois, and there's less and less clubs for bands to play. There just isn't, because the clubs are getting squeezed by ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, and it's very, very expensive to to pay them every year.
You mean the DOJ sanctioned extortionists?
Oh, stop. Stop it. They're not a Department of Justice sanction.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. The Department of Justice literally sent them a letter like sanctioning what they do. Not even joking.
Stop. Anyway, they are there, to protect the rights and of the music. And so anyway, listen, I'm an artist. I want my shit protected. And whether you agree with it or not, I want my shit protected. That's like
I just think there's a better method than
there isn't a better
violence.
method. What is the better method to make sure that Tom Petty gets his fucking money when somebody plays his music?
How about you buy it once and then there you go?
Well, because
you shouldn't have to pay every single time. That's bullshit.
No, nobody. When you buy it once, you get it. As a consumer, you buy it once and you can do whatever you want with it. But when you use it commercially and then you go out and you sell advertising for your show, you are now utilizing that music that leans against that advertising to create value for what it is you're trying to do.
I agree.
And you are a for-profit business like we are. So there are rules and regulations, as they should be, to protect the people, their rights, and their art. Period.
No.
Yes, you can't just give shit away.
Yes, you
Nobody.
can.
No,
Actually,
they
there's quite
won't.
a few very successful
Oh
artists
God,
do that.
it's such a ridiculous
have a
argument.
lawnmower sitting in your front yard because you were cutting your grass. Your neighbor can't just come over and take your
It's not
lawnmower
the same
and start
thing.
using it.
It's not the same thing. A lawnmower is a tangible asset. Sound waves and a certain string of chords and melodies. It's not tangible. You can't say, I put it in this way.
You can't touch it. Well, yes, you can say, I put things together in this way.
Yeah, but
the
I'm
same
saying
way the guy
you
that
can't
made the
physically change
lawnmower
it.
can say, well, I bent this piece of metal this way, and I formed the wheels out of this, and it's a bunch of things that are put together in a specific way that gives them value as a whole.
Yeah, but
and
a
so
song-
does a songwriter, a musician,
a painter,
a poet, a painter puts elements of things together in a way that gives them a value that they don't have separately. And so just because you can't pick up a song and carry it across the room does not mean that it is not something special and valuable, and the person that created it should not retain their ownership of it.
I just think that artists and anybody who creates content, if you want it to be out there as massive as you can, why would you put your barriers to your own? Why would you put up your own barriers to entry to various marketplaces? You're just cutting yourself short.
I don't think I kind of get what Ken's saying here, and that's where the argument becomes kind of slightly weird and divided because of the passion on both sides. I think he has a good point. But a lot of artists just do throw their music up here, like this Chloe Adams we just listened to. She puts it out there. She didn't say, "Hey, Darren, send me a check for playing this music."
She probably gets a cut from the YouTube advertising.
Well, listen, 10 million views relates to about $250 in cash. So that's terrible money. So you're not. It takes a lot of work to get to 10 million views, believe it or not. Or you got to have something super interesting that people like, and it takes time. But the point being here is you can't feed yourself on $250 for a very long period of time. So those ideas and those thoughts she assembled and created, and you weren't in here for that song, but it's an amazing piece of artwork that she put together and an amazing message she created that belongs to Chloe Adams in her mind, and then she wrote them down and she wrote the music. She assembled 12 notes together that made this beautiful melody, and that's what art is about. It's kind of like that picture there. That picture right there, or that picture behind you. Those were painted, and granted, I don't own the color fucking green, and Jenny King doesn't own the color black, but you combine these things together, and that's what assembles art, kind of the same way as building a house. You didn't own the tree. You might have purchased a tree. You might have purchased lessons to learn how to put that song together. But you put these things, you put your paint on it, you put your color, you put your little flower pot, and that becomes your home. And it's very much that way for artists. And I'll tell you something. Art is so important because children who are involved in art in schools grade higher, It's been consistently and statistically proven over and over and over and over again for the last 4. I can't write at this moment, but for the last 4 decades, it's been a running study that just about every major university that is involved in upper and continuing education has studied this, and children who are involved in the arts excel. They're more creative. They're more outwardly creative. That means when they're more outwardly creative, they have a tendency to be able to retain information and decipher it better than other kids, so they get better grades.
You think more, then your brain works better.
Right.
Holy shit.
Absolutely. What a brilliant idea. But so to say, hey, go out there, be creative, get smarter, but then certain things that you create you're not entitled to have isn't fair.
I'm not saying they're not entitled to make money off of it. I'm just saying if I copy it and put it out as my complete as a complete work of my own,
I'll sue the fuck out of you.
And that's outrageous.
No, it's not outrageous.
You're going to point a gun at people and say, hey, you can't do that.
But you didn't create
it.
So
you're
why
basically
would you think
taking
you should have the right to pretend that you did?
Why would somebody not want to compete? Like if I'm a consumer, if I want to buy this song and I say, okay, this is a Darren Edwards Project song, but it was put out by this other guy, but it's like not his stuff. Why would I as a consumer want to go over here instead of get the actual real deal?
But how do you
what
know
are you
if everybody can just lie about whether or not
buyer
they
beware.
created something?
It requires people to have some damn, put some effort into understanding what they're purchasing.
Well, no, hold on a second. You're talking about a social conscience here at this point. And I think that, listen, if you decided you wanted to take my music, my words, and assemble the melody the same way and then put your name on it, that's completely ridiculous.
Look at the trouble Milli Vanilli got into.
Yeah, look. But really, that's just silly. And, you can use, there's only 12 notes in the scale, man. That's it. There's 12. So how each person assembles them, which is what makes that art, the art of music, so miraculous that you can take those 12 notes, you can assemble them in different time signatures. You can do different instrumentations playing at different times throughout a 4/4 melody, and you can write lyrics and create a package, and we have millions of songs to choose from, and not all of them sound alike. There are similarities among some songs, but overall, most all the music we listen to is very different, from Bach and Tchaikovsky all the way to Tom Petty to this Chloe Adams. There, you don't really see the similarities in that song to a Led Zeppelin tune, even though both those artists are using all the same chords. And that is the artistic aspect of being creative. They're the same way that you might have a paint set that contains the exact same 6 colors as me, and we come up with 2 different things. And that belongs to you. If you paint a picture and I paint a picture and yours gets more attention, that belongs to you. You use the same 5 colors. How you put them together is what makes you unique. And if we start taking the uniqueness away from society and the social opportunities to be different or to create something for ourselves in such a real small palette, because even the palette of colors is only really about 6 or 7 real colors. They're defined as real colors that we know of, that we associate. You got your yellow, your blue, your cayenne, 3 if you're talking about a printer ink cartridge. But really, the rainbow is like 6 or 7 colors, man. You do what you want with them. Make them your own. And you know what? If it's nice, I pay you for it. Now, where ASCAP and BMI and CSAC come in is because there's so many people with the idea that they feel it's okay to fuck you out of your creative integrity. You can.
See,
you paint.
No,
hold on. Hold on.
For a long
I'm
time.
not done.
You
You put that painting together, and if there's a body that protects somebody from stealing what you took from inside of you and created, I say you should be protected. And the same way my music's protected, and Foo Fighters music is protected. If you want to use it to better your business and use it in a Chevy commercial, I should be paid for it, because you didn't fucking write it. You didn't create it. You didn't put your time into it. I did. And if you thought it was that goddamn easy to begin with, you would have fucking done it yourself instead of trying to steal my shit. Kind of like the lawnmower. If I got a lawnmower and you got a lawnmower and we both leave them in the front yard and you come and take mine because it cuts the lawn better,
Those are false
fuck
comparisons.
You.
It's a false comparison. You can't compare a tangible asset. It's a comparison.
Well,
you can't compare a tangible asset to an intangible asset that you have to utilize various organizations.
It's tangible once it can be bought. It becomes
I think the tangible versus intangible is a red herring. I don't think it's relevant.
How is it not relevant when you're creating false scarcity around a product just to secure the money for it? Like, no, you're when you point a gun at people in order to increase the scarcity of a product or an asset, which is any painting or any string of chords and melodies and songs, you're falsely.
Do you think Chevy should be able to take one of the songs off my record and put it in a commercial without paying me?
Yeah.
You're a fucking cunt. Because that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
because that belongs to me.
Say.
That's my art. That's then he might as well come in my house and take a picture off my fucking wall.
No, that's tangible.
But now he's going to go back to the tangible thing. And
it's not. That album is tangible. You can pick it up. You can touch it.
Sure,
you
that
can
copy
feel it.
is. But if somebody else has a different copy, they're not stealing from you. Copying is not stealing.
You're violating copyright laws.
God. Jesus Christ in heaven.
You can't just take things because they're not in. It's not this. You can't just take things from me because you can't.
If I copy it, you still have it though. I haven't stolen it from you. You still have it.
Could you sell it to General Motors for a
Hell
commercial?
yes.
Well,
Why
then
the hell not?
you're a double cunt because that would be stealing my intellectual property. This nonsense. You know who talks about intellectual property not mattering? And I'll tell you, of all the things that you fucking ever talk about, I respect you. This pisses me off the most because if it was your intellectual property and it was your fucking money on the table, you wouldn't let anybody take it.
Yes,
from
I
you.
would. I put all my content goes out.
That's what people who don't have anything say.
Bull crap. Bull crap.
Bullshit.
Bull crap. I've put out content before, and it's all put out. Bipcot,
bullshit,
Creative Commons.
The Creative Commons, nobody even. Chevy doesn't go to the Creative Commons to get music. You're not going to make any money in the Creative Commons. There's no money to be made there on the same scheme. If we're talking about the same thing, we're talking about the commercial. When I use Chevy, we're talking about the commercialization of intellectual property. That's where the fucking money is. Not in some fucking ditch under a bridge, under some movement that nobody's paying attention to other than a handful of people. I'm not trying to disrespect it, but this illusion that you think that if I create something and it's like music, and it belongs to you as equally as it belongs to me, makes you kind of an asshole.
I am an asshole. I'll deny that. Absolutely.
Boy, you got him. Now
got me fucking fired up.
Got him fired up for sure.
This is one of the reasons I love having Ken on the show because he's such a dick.
And and I'm not just spouting out shit that I don't actually believe. I really believe this shit. I'm not just saying shit to be fucking.
Hey, listen, Ken is
controversial. Not at all.
I'm going to throw a prop out here to you. Listen, Ken. Probably, if I had this conversation with anybody in a restaurant, in a bar, in a fucking gas station, we'd be at fisticuffs already. And this is one of the reasons Ken is on the show, because the show is about open ideas. We don't have to agree. But I think after the show, you and I are still going to be friends, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sort of. I love this man, and I love the fact that he's willing to argue. I love the fact that he's willing to discuss it, and I love the fact that through all the bullshit, although on some things we're very, very far apart, it's kind of funny because a lot of the stuff, when it comes down to just being a decent person, we always wind up down the funnel in the middle together. So we go down the slide. Listen, hey, let's play some music here real quick, and we'll give Linda a chance to wipe her nose in her tears. I don't know if she has any of that.
See, she almost hit me, man.
Yeah.
She came close.
See how I deflected? I deflected all mine and Ken's anger right to Linda. So listen, this is a great song by J. Roddy Walston in The Business. This song is called The Wanting.
Don't sell the farm yet, believe in me. Don't break the branches of the family tree. do right by us, best it could be. You've done no harm, but you've been no good to me. You only think you're at home when you're out making atonement. So you gotta make up your own mind. You're never gonna get free, oh, the way you left living need low. I'll return the pain you face in kind. So we're just there. You thrown in vain. I'm the last of your name. I can't do it all, but I wouldn't do it all the same. Our hearts shot from the past, where the hurt came quick, bitterness came to last. You're the one thing that I want, and the one is all I have. Upon the mount there was a sermon, and there was a lesson learned. If I can only touch in third person, is this cause to be concerned? I wanna know if the present's complete, and if it was a clean divide. Is this your body? Is this where you'll sleep? I wanna love you, I wanna tell you, but I can't change my mind. So we're dead, feel so in pain. I'm the last of your name. I can't do it all, but I wouldn't do it all the same. Hard heart soft on the past, when the hurt came quick, bitterness came to last. I can't forgive and forget. You took the one thing that I had, and you're the one thing that I want, and the one is all
Hi, my name's Amanda. You're listening to my dad and my stepmom on the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem, and this show rocks.
Oh, and we're back. That was awesome. Ken and I went outside. We had boxing gloves and everything. It was awesome.
I was going to say, did you kiss and make up when you were out there?
I love Ken.
There it goes again. Always get one. Always get one. One per episode.
You know, I'm telling you, I got to straighten that shit. I have to pay closer attention to the laptop. The laptop has the drops and all the bullshit in it. And I've been working on a whole bunch of new ones. So after the first of the year, we'll have all new drops.
Sweet.
It's going to be pretty cool.
New content coming straight for you.
Coming right for you, baby. I'm going to say baby every time I say something. Hey, how's it going, baby? So anyway, so that's an interesting conversation about intellectual property. And I was talking to Linda about it during the break, and it's kind of funny because, you know, there is kind of a certain point, and I'm kind of a victim of it when that company out of the UK took my music, and then I played my music, and then YouTube's telling me I'm not allowed to use my own music because a company in the UK is taking ownership of it, and I'm not sure if they did it under the premises of your beliefs, but the truth is
fucking scammers. They're just
assholes. Yeah,
assholes.
but they're taking this property and then saying they own it, and then I got to go after them. I got to waste all my fucking time trying to get my music, released from YouTube and Facebook because other people are saying they own it. My point of that is that because it is intangible. If they wanted to take my guitars, they'd have to literally come to my fucking house and get them. Yeah. If they want to take my music, they just pick it and then say they own it. So
it's very easy to
do. It's very easy to do. But, I'll tell you.
Thank God for the Pirate Bay.
I don't even know what the hell that is, and I don't know that I do want to know what the hell that is. But
it's a wonderful website.
So go ahead, Linda.
Well, I was going to say, so this is probably a thing that would have you fired up too, is, if you work for a company and you're in research and development or whatever, and you come up with a new thing, a new widget, your employer owns it. I mean, you created it, but your employer owns it because it's work for hire. That seems like that would be something that would fly in the face of.
Well, if you're designing a product specifically for a company, and it's like the method by which you've designed it, I don't think you can own. I don't think you can say unless you lock it up and say these are the blueprints. Nobody else can ever see them, and nobody can backwards.
Unless you walked in the door to that company with the blueprints and said, "Hey, I have this. Would you like to be the company that uses it and puts their name on it, which is licensing?" Kind of like the Post-it notepad. The guy who invented the Post-it notepad, I think he got paid like a $50,000 bonus for inventing it.
Yeah,
fuck that.
I'd like for 3M.
Right.
I want to walk in the door and go, hey.
I'd rather be able to produce it and sell it on my own. Like, go ahead, you compete, and I'll compete. We'll have Post-it notes, we'll have Kenny notes, we'll have Dag notes. I mean, the options in the marketplace are always good.
But those options are still there. Now, granted, there might be patentable issues that become. I mean, a Post-it notepad, it's really just paper and glue of some kind.
Well, I think it was the type of glue that he came up with.
That's
key to
it. That's what it was. But I think by now, because Post-it notepads have been around a long time, I mean, they got even cooler glue now. Like those things, like when you get a new credit card or you get your new bank card in the mail and it comes on those little sticky things.
Oh,
you can buy
those little boogers.
The little boogers, yeah. They got the little boogers. I mean, they've come out with a lot of stuff. But the point being is that if you're really that inventive, come up with that on your own. The cool thing about doing it for another company is like 3M is all the resources are there to be created.
Well, that's true. I mean,
the guy, the construction horses. Remember the construction? Well, you don't remember, but in our day, they were made of metal and wood, and if you hit them with your car, you needed a new car. Well, the guy who invented the ones that when you hit them and were made out of plastic and they collapsed was a guy who lived in Villa Park. He was actually a client. Yeah, he was a client of mine, and he worked for this big construction company that supplied them, and he invented them. Well, he got a $50,000 bonus for coming up with this invention of these collapsible road horses, so they weren't damaging as many. Because the insurance costs were so ridiculous, as the people who manufactured these construction horses were like, "Oh my God, we need something better," because every time somebody hits one, they sue us. Whether they're right or wrong, they're still suing us, and we're in court. At some point, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. It matters how much you spend.
Right.
And you can afford to exhaust, So insurance premiums go through the roof because insurance companies are representing these claims and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so he invented it. He got paid $50,000. And I think that's the same I think I read it's about the same amount of money the guy who came up with Post-it notepads got as a bonus. So clearly, there's some kind of an industry standard if you work in the department of creating new ideas, for a company like that.
Oh, that sounds like a fun job, working for the department of creating new ideas.
Oh God! Don't make that a government department, please. There will be no more good ideas whatsoever. There's an old adage that says if the government was put in charge of the desert, they'd run out of sand in a week. Don't put them in charge of ideas, please. There'll be no more ideas.
I didn't mean a governmental department, like at a company.
No, but that's kind of interesting, But a lot of big companies, of course, they all have research and development teams.
Yeah, and
from pharmaceuticals to construction horses.
If you could protect the blueprints for it, if you could lock it away in a safe and nobody can reverse engineer it, cool, go ahead, you make all the money you want. But if you put something out there and it's easily copied, easily reverse engineered, sorry, it's out there. You can't own ideas. They're not tangible concepts. If somebody's going to figure it out, they'll figure it out and they'll reproduce it.
Well, I think people do that anyway. I mean, people find ways to reverse engineer all kinds of ideas, from let's just look at a pen. I mean, but everybody comes up with their own little thing, one way to click it, the new mechanism inside, and it becomes part of a much bigger patent, and everybody kind of gets to share in those ideas, and the success of the original idea, benefits the people with the new idea that makes the pen sort of better.
That's one of the reasons why I'm against patenting and licensing and intellectual properties, because you're inhibiting the free market from actually bettering whatever product it is you're putting out there.
No,
somebody remixes a Darren Edwards song, they put these new hooks and new little beats into it.
I've had it done to my music in Denmark. A band out of what was it, Denmark or Norway? Anyway, they took and they sampled the very first song on this album back in the day, and I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah. See,
so
now,
but they
if
got
intellectual property rights were like so stringent and hard and set in stone to where nobody else can do it. Well, then
they're not.
But there's a process in place.
There's a process in place.
I want to re-record this song. You know.
Yeah, and they
can do that.
They do that. They didn't even need my permission. They did it, and then ASCAP, who I'm an ASCAP member, said, okay, well, this is what the division is, and now, Darren, on this new song, you're going to get, 50% for the original creation, but the other 50% is going to go to them for the fixing it.
See, that's just theft.
But but it's not theft. It was my song. Now you're contradicting yourself. No,
you got a
because they're
corporation,
giving
taking money.
No.
They
didn't need my, because if they would have came to me, I said I'll give you fuckers 10% and I get 90. ASCAP said no, that's not how this works. They are entitled to 50 because they're not stealing the whole song. They're not using the whole song. They're using a portion of it and they're sampling and putting into their own music. So you get the creation rights.
I would love to,
but now they have new performance rights, which they divide amongst themselves, which ASCAP divides amongst them and the holders of that new creation, and it could be 10, 15, 20, 25%, until it all matches 100% of their 50% of my original idea.
I would love to
get
Stefan Kinsella in here to argue about this, because the man, Stefan Kinsella, he's extremely well read.
Listen, I'm not looking to get sold on the idea.
Here's to say he presents it better than I do.
I don't think you. And a lot of people who argue the intellectual property rights really have an understanding of how it works and how BMI and CSAC and ASCAP actually work. So, there's music I've written and I've participated on, and if you go to my ASCAP account, I get paid for those little segments of my creation on that music. And that music pops up in my account. I don't even know who the fuck it is. I don't, because it's changed hands. It's in different publishing companies. It doesn't matter. So I don't know where that music went. But they say, hey, here's what you're getting. Every time this song's played, you're getting 10 cents, or 5 cents or 1 cent. So whatever it is. But that's why, because there's no way, if you, let's just say in your House of Commons or whatever the fuck you call it, there is no way you could manage all that kind of traffic and airplay. So you pay these companies. I pay a $100 a year fee for them to manage this.
See, that's just a lack of imagination.
No, it's not.
Say there's no way you could manage it.
You could never manage a global process of millions or hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands or 500 plays a day of your music or pieces thereof it, any more than you could manage people in Europe trying to take. Let's say that's an original print from Jenny King. Somebody taking that, and there's no way that you could manage somebody in Istanbul turning it into a print and selling it. I mean, fucking Nike can't even manage people, and New Balance from ripping off their shoes and their trademarks and so on, etc. So you can't say that you can manage airplay across this entire marble to the point through some...
What I'm saying is, don't manage it, and you'll have better music.
That's all I'm saying. That's fucking the dumbest thing you've ever said. Now, right there, all of a sudden, stop managing it and the music gets better. That's just stupid. That's a dumb thing to say.
Anytime that we have a market of anything, if there's more options, if there's more availability, it's a better product.
Dude, we're on YouTube. There's YouTube right there. There's hundreds of millions of songs on this fucking channel. The market is wide open. Go listen to all you want. Pick it out. You decide. You have, as a consumer, I have an idea. Once I listen to a song, I have the option. When I played her song, it didn't cost me any money. I have the option now to go decide whether I want to buy one song from her, if I want to buy the album, if I want to contribute to it. And let me tell you something, everything you're talking about is already happening. And you know what nobody's doing? Spending their money. Why would they? They'll just rip the fucking music off of YouTube. And those people who put that time into it don't get paid. The same way I can upload pictures, I can upload, we talked about on a show before, Nagel. I can upload his fucking pictures and download them and he'll never see a penny. That's stealing. And it's not fair, because if you really give a shit about your little commune social kind of way of fucking life.
I'm not a communist. Do not.
I didn't say communist.
Communist, all that.
Okay,
social
two different things we're talking about. I'm not talking about communism. Do you know what a fucking commune is?
I'm aware of what a commune is.
A commune is when people get together and they all share in the money, they all share in the wealth and the sales of the goods and services they provide.
Communism.
Okay, well, but that's kind
but if you choose to live in a commune, you do it voluntarily.
A lot
of times, yeah.
Communism is forced on you. It's kind of different. But anyway, so the point is that being said, so I fucking now derail. All right, fuck you guys. We're gonna play another song.
All right, fine.
We'll come back to this when I get my thoughts together. Now, this is for my brother. This is important because my brother and I. Now I'm gonna go back to music here. We're gonna get off the fucking topic of you being nuts. When my brother and I started playing music, many moons ago, before you were born. It was just the two of us. It was just a drummer and a guitar player. It was never fucking heard of, and it wasn't cool. You didn't have the backbone behind the song, you know what I mean? Like the bass or keys or whatever it was. And then you fast forward 30 years and 27 years, and you get the White Stripes, right?
Oh, I love them.
I love them, too. I mean, just amazing. But now you got bands like Royal Blood, which I'm going to play a song from Royal Blood today. But this band here, guitar player and a fucking drummer. And it doesn't matter if he's a great singer. It doesn't matter about anything. What it matters is that they created a great song. So this is Black Pistol Fire, and the song is called Trigger on My Fire.
All right, you are rolling.
Come on, keep it calm, baby, you know what you're giving me feels my fire.
Yeah. Black Pistol Fire.
That was
Trigger on
impressive.
Fire, man.
Yeah.
Just a guitar player and a drummer. Kicking ass. That's what I'm talking about. Ken, I killed him, by the way. He's dead. He's outside. He's dead.
I'm sure he'll be
I
back
stabbed
in a
him
minute.
twice.
That's...
No, just in the groinal area. I stabbed him.
I don't even think that's a word.
Groinal? Oh,
Groinal?
he recovered. I told everybody I stabbed you.
I'm so glad you're okay,
outside.
Ken.
I said I
So glad
stabbed
you're
you in the
okay.
groinal area. Linda says groinal area isn't a word.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure that's really a word.
Webster's doesn't get to define words.
Of course he doesn't. They doesn't. What? Oh, whoever.
Can't own a
Webster's. Can't own a word. Oh,
Do you
that's.
think the dictionaries are helpful, though?
Sure, it's helpful.
Okay. Well,
I think it's
Where would
Why are
he
you
come up with
complaining?
all his big fucking words if he didn't have a dictionary? This guy knows more big words than anybody I've ever met.
Hey, I love $15 words, man. They're expensive.
So anyway, so that was Black Pistol Fire, Trigger on My Fire. Great song, great band, big fan. And
Yeah,
XRT is touting these guys as a new shit. What, your headphones? Oh, yeah, your headphones aren't plugged in anymore because you probably stepped on the fucking cord.
I stepped on it.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
I know
Everything
it wasn't
is
me because I haven't gotten up.
Ken, everything that happens here that goes wrong is your fault.
That's okay.
I
I
am
can take
actually
it.
able
You
to
got
sit
you got
for 2
headphones?
hours.
Yeah.
Too loud? Is that too
little
loud? No, right. Sorry. God, I so want to turn them up really loud. Right? Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally did. Is that all right now?
Don't be a dick, Dag. I love you, Danielle.
Oh, Jesus. But anyway, so I mean, I just love that. I love the fact these guys come out, just a guitar player and a drummer. They kick ass and make a great song. And we're going to play another song by them later today. Here,
Okay.
like 4 o'clock when we're into the 9th hour of the show.
Oh, that's...
Ken and I
That's
are
not
doing
gonna
a whole. We're actually planning. Remember back in the day when you used to go to the bar after work and they had a lingerie show? You don't
Yeah.
remember that, probably. Oh, it was fucking dynamite. Yeah. So you'd go into the bar, and there'd be chicks that are basically naked except with lingerie on, and they would sell tickets, and you would, they would have drawings, and it would go on during happy hour, and that's when you could get 2 drinks for the price of 1, and people knew how to make them. There was no regulated pour. So the drunker the bartender was, the better the drink was. So you always bought the bartender a drink, and if you had 20 people sitting in a bar, you knew she was fucking hammered by the time she was 30 minutes into her shift.
Hammered and naked. All right.
So she was pouring stiff drinks, and then there's chicks walking around basically
Making
naked.
everybody else stiff.
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, and
but
they'd sell raffle tickets, and
Yeah.
then somebody would win.
yeah,
whatever.
like nightgown, and
negligee to
you'd take
bring
it
to
home
the-
to your wife.
Yeah.
But
Ew.
that's also when girls had a lot of fur, there. So they'd be pushing out of their negligee, these little shorty booty shorts or whatever.
Now this is a concept that I can get behind. We need to open up
Yeah.
a bar.
Dude.
You missed the train on that one.
Yeah.
I think
You're too young.
There was a bar
Yeah.
back when I was installing cable down somewhere around Joliet. They would do something like that, although it was legitimate, like lap dances and stuff like that, and like the
Well, that's called
seedy little tiny
It was
bar.
legitimate
No,
lap
it was
dances.
it was a seedy little BS bar, but there was no stage, there was nothing like that. But you go to the little corner over here and they'll dance for you.
So was the strip club without the pole?
Yeah, it was
And
a
the
strip club
stage?
without a stage, no pole,
Okay.
nothing. Like the girls had a little changing area.
Sounds like a classy place.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
Super classy.
Yeah, that's
I'm
exactly
telling you, man.
the word I would call it. I'm
Yeah.
glad I didn't get hepatitis.
I remember one time I was at a bar in Addison, and there was this guy in there, and I have 2 stories at the same bar. So one time I'm in there, and there was this guy who came in every day, and he just looked like a normal dude, but he was super, super quiet.
He
And
a
he
serial
was
killer, wasn't he?
No, it turned out he was gay.
Okay.
But he never came in. He always sat by himself at the corner of the bar. He never bothered anybody. These 2, 3 punky college kids came in, and they had come in. They were regulars that came into the bar and just started fucking with this guy one time. And there's us regulars who all sat at the end of the bar, just kind of watch this go down. And I'll never forget I cannot remember this one guy's name. He was this big guy. He goes, just watch what happens here. And I went, what the fuck is going to happen here? So these college kids just fucking with this guy, taking his drink, kind of pushing him around, getting physical with him. Guy gets up off the chair. He beat this fucking little skinny gay guy, beat the fuck out of these three guys. Left him just laying on the floor. The cops came and just drug them out, and he went and sat down and his drink. I don't think this guy said a word when he beat the living shit out of these three big kind of buffy football player college kids who had continually came in because we used to go to the same bar all the time. It just fucking aggravated this guy for no reason. And when they got a little too he beat off it was 2 or 3 of them. He beat the shit out of everybody that was there fucking with him in 12 seconds. Oh, okay, that was entertaining. Another time I was at that bar, this guy was really fucking hammered, and he goes walking out the bar. I mean, he couldn't.
Wait, same guy, different guy?
No, different guy. Totally different time. And it's midnight, and he goes outside, and we don't see him again. All of a sudden, we hear sirens. He walked into the middle of Lake Street and got hit by a Fiero. And the Fiero hit him, and it knocked him down and went over him and drug him almost to Mill Road and killed him.
Oh.
So he was
drugged
stuck.
by a Fiero. Those things are so...
They're so low to the ground, it got underneath there. And when we walked down the street to see this, I swear to God, the axle was up against his jaw, and it just drug him, and they were pieces of his fucking head and brain all on the street.
Stop.
It was awful.
Oh, that's horrible.
Thanks
for sharing that.
That's my drunken death story.
All right,
for Addison, Illinois.
Okay, so here's a better story.
Okay.
Remember the story recently in the news about the homeless guy who gave his last $20 to a woman? Right, you even mentioned it on the show.
Yeah.
So he just bought a house and in a 1999 pickup truck that he always wanted.
And he donated the rest of the money to charity. I heard is what he was.
I read that he was. It didn't say the rest of the money, but yes, he was donating money to.
He gave his last $20 to a girl. Did you hear this story? So he gives his last $20. This girl runs out of gas on the expressway in a bad neighborhood. Mm-hmm. This homeless guy gives his last $20 to her to buy gas. Okay, so she goes home, and she's so moved by this, she, for a week or so, she kept going, brought him a coat and brought him food and this, and then said, you know what, I'm going to start him a GoFundMe page. There's $400,000.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
$400,000.
And people say we couldn't fucking build the roads without taxes.
You couldn't build a road without taxes. You couldn't do it. But
so he's got a house now, and he's got a vehicle.
Does he have a fucking job?
Well, I don't. He was
taxes.
a Marine, and I think it said paramedic.
But I read he didn't buy a brand new car. It
was like a 1999 truck of some kind.
He buys a 20-year-old car.
Yeah,
that guy's got $400,000. He buys a 20-year-old car. I love him.
Well, God bless.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome story.
And without technology, and
way better than your story about the guy with the Fiero.
Oh God, that was one of the first times.
Okay, let's move on.
All right, we won't talk about it anymore.
Let's talk about puppies and kittens.
His brains were smeared all over.
Speaking of kittens, have you guys heard of these crypto kittens?
No.
So you guys have heard me talk about Bitcoin and what the blockchain is.
Right.
You're a little bit familiar with that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course we have.
So
no, I never heard of it before I met you, Ken. Didn't know what that was.
So there's an altcoin called Ethereum, and its main function is to write smart contracts. Things that they happen automatically. One thing happens, the next thing happens, so forth. Well, these guys in, I want to say Sweden, they wrote this program on top of the Ethereum blockchain where it creates these digital kittens that are 100% unique. Every single one of them. They can't be stolen. They can't be traded, or they can be traded, but they can't be stolen. They can't be copied because it's all set down on the blockchain. And these things are one of them was sold for $104,000. It's an intangible kitten that just sits on the blockchain.
Why?
Because people are idiots.
Crypto kittens, man. Crypto kitties.
People are idiots. Oh, okay, but so I don't know why when you started talking about this, do you remember, Darren, 20 some years ago, the green Acer computer that we had.
Yes, that cost like $18,000 for a 166 megahertz computer with 2 gigs of hard drive.
Do you remember those programs you could buy where you had like the kitten or the dog?
It would grow.
And you would feed it catnip and you would brush it and give it some milk.
Yes, I do.
I'm sorry. When
they had this
that just
program.
flashed through my mind and how much the kids loved playing.
Well, that's
with
when
it. I kind of liked it too.
That's when the internet was brand new. Really, I mean, we're talking, like 93, 94, 95. And you could have a puppy or you could have a kitten, and then you would go to the toolbox and you would take, and it was very primitive, but you would brush it.
It seemed like the coolest thing.
And it would grow and it would meow like when you would log in there, it would purr.
You had like a little hand you could pet it and it would purr in response.
That was very cool.
Called? I can't remember what that was.
I can't remember either.
My daughter has an app on her phone that does exactly the same.
Well, I'm sure.
This stuff's still around.
At the time,
we used to play
was
Pong.
Like, isn't this fun? Yeah.
We thought Pong was fun.
Pong is still fun. I'm not hearing anything. Pong is still badass.
Yeah, it is.
There was something else I was just going to talk about. Now you guys fucking derailed that train again.
How you can't buy jarts anymore?
That's why we need to have.
Can't buy jarts. That's what it was. You cannot buy jarts anymore. And I grew up playing jarts. Grandma Kurtz had jarts.
Yep.
You know what jarts are?
Not a
jarts is the most dangerous fucking yard toy in the history.
Wait a minute, yard darts.
Yes. The worst toy you could ever buy.
These things were great. I loved it.
Oh my god, they were so dangerous. And if you saw, they were just giant darts with big giant fucking metal pointy tips on them. They went into the ground. You'd throw them in a hoop, and God forbid you had a pair of sandals on. Because if you had YouTube back in those days, there would be one video after another of somebody with a jart through their fucking foot. It was terrible. But I guess people literally lost eyes and fucking got limbs and horrible infections that cost them limbs and injuries that just abound.
People were stupid, so the government had to come in and say, "No, you can't do that anymore. You don't get to play with."
No, there was nobody rational who went, maybe this just isn't the wisest.
I remember what it was.
Toy to give a 6-year-old.
Tivana.
Oh, Tivana. Yes. Did you hear about this bullshit? This was all over the fucking news this week. So, an Indiana judge. So, Starbucks owns Tivana.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And Starbucks wants to close 70. They have 77 stores. It's not a huge.
They have 376 stores.
77 of them or something are in this one conglomerate that owns these shopping malls. Simons. So Simons makes a move and sues Starbucks and takes them to court and says, well, they can't because we're afraid that now that space will be empty and people stop coming to our mall. A judge ruled that Starbucks can't close the 77 stores. They have to continue to lose money and employ all those people because the shopping mall might get hurt by it. Yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
No, that's so fucking far over the bow of any normal shit. I mean, that's madness. When you tell a company, go, no, you're going to continue to lose money.
It's price controls. I mean, that's directly out of the freaking, the socialist handbook. I mean, fucking, what's his name? Marx wrote about, controlling business and stuff like that. It's the worst goddamn thing in the world.
Well, it's not going to work in a court of appeals. I can't imagine that's not going to get overturned. That you can force a corporation to stay open and continue to hemorrhage money. How is that going to? How can you do that?
I mean, I could see they could be compelled to pay the rent they might have contracted for, but
they're forcing them to stay open. This isn't a case of, hey, well then you got to.
Well, I'll be interested to read more details on.
Yeah, bring your. That's going to be on the show.
Was behind that.
That's going to be on the show next week.
What other industry do you say, no, I'm sorry, you're losing money, so you have to keep losing money?
You have to stay open.
Like, are you kidding me? If you as an artist were going around, you had to pay clubs to fucking play, there's no way you'd continue doing it. None whatsoever.
That's how it used to be back in the day. If you wanted to play like at a club, back in the day, it was called pay to play. So you would go to, and not all clubs, but a lot of clubs, and they'd say, okay, you want to play here? And we did it. I did it in the DEP. I did it when I was even before the DEP, when we were fucking back in our other little bands. And the band, the club owner would say, or the booking agent would say, okay, you get 120 tickets. You have to sell them for $10 a piece. And if you don't, you have to deliver so much back to the club, and then you get to keep the rest. So, but couldn't.
This is not. I mean, this is a little different because this
is a little different.
Saying, hey,
but
you have to do it, otherwise. Plus, you're going to perform behind a screen too, where nobody gets to see you.
You had the option to not do the show.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to turn down the show. Here in this situation with Tivana is horrific, and when I read that, and this, I think this came out. I read this Monday is when it came out, when it was on the news, and I went there's something fucked up about this story. Somebody's got to have this wrong.
It's got to be fake news somewhere. God damn it, CNN.
Sure enough, the headline came up in my news feed, and I'm like, screw that. I don't care about reading about Starbucks and Tivana. I got other things to do. So now I want to go back and read it.
Well, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, listen, we talk. You can say Trump's a racist. All these things we seem to be slightly diverted from a lot of crazy shit that's happening in the world that we don't know anything about. So that is a terrible precedent to be set for any business. If that doesn't get overturned, that's it. I'm getting a cabin, and I'm going to build it. I'm going to just buy pallets and build my own fucking house, and I'm just going to go find a piece of land I like, and I'm going to sit on it and go, fuck you, sue me out of here. And
they'll send a SWAT team for your estate taxes.
Right, and then they'll start shooting at me with tanks. Yeah, like David Koresh.
Sorry, Ruby Ridge.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be weird one day. One day I'm going to do the radio show. You stop talking about black pistol fire, or we're gonna shoot you up. Hey, listen, I want to play another song here.
Well, let's do it.
All right.
That's the name of the game, baby.
This is Nikki Blitz. Now, interestingly, this song, Blast Off, talking about intellectual property rights, apparently Apple took his music without his permission. Now, I don't know if he's an ASCAP member or whatever, but he was all over the internet not happy that Apple used his music without his permission. This is Nick.
Like, you would really think Apple would be big enough to not
I would assume
that mistake.
I don't think Apple probably did it on purpose, but you know what? You never
somebody
fucking
screwed
know.
up there. Right?
Somebody
Probably.
fucked up.
Yeah.
No oversight. But anyway, here, Nikki Blitz and Blast Off here on the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem.
that I just said.
No, you can't hear a damn thing you just said. But I'm going to go to another song here real quick because I want to play this by my good friends here at Valeside. This is Wash, Rinse, Repeat. I haven't heard this song in a while.
Feel a little lonely since you left a message on my wall. Can you? Well, better yet, just send them all. I need it. Come a little closer. Well, let me take a peek at your tattoo. My mind is racing. All of the things that we could do.
Little Valeside there. God, I love that song.
Great Chicago band.
Yeah. Yeah, they got, they're playing a lot too, man. They're everywhere. We got to get out and see them. Yeah. Okay, well. Anyway, so that's what I know.
Which is a whole lot of nothing.
It's a whole lot of nothing. I don't know shit.
It's Ken's turn to launch one at you.
Man, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
It's my turn to, start getting you fired up.
Oh,
you did that already.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be
Once
angry.
the show's enough.
Yeah, I'm really not an angry guy. I mean, it's hard to really get me super mad about anything anymore. You can get me pretty irritated. Okay, like this headphone amp right now is about to go through the window. There we go. That's really pissing me
Well,
off.
since we were talking about Ethereum and cryptos earlier, Bitcoin is launching on some exchange in Chicago. They're doing
CME.
The CME.
I don't understand.
There's a futures market getting opened up on that.
I saw this whole thing about Bitcoin and how it's traded, because it's traded like commodities. It's not traded like common stock. It's traded like cattle and corn. And
yeah. So now you can buy and sell options on it. I think that starts this coming week.
I want to say Monday. Yeah,
I saw this. I saw this whole thing about it, that the way that it's stored in the servers that it uses is that it can't withstand the growth and the amount of power it requires to keep everything up and balance its cost effectiveness with managing this kind of really non-existent currency, so to speak. It really exists on a computer, and be able to continue its growth, and that eventually there's a lot of critics of it, and there's a lot of believers in it, but a lot of people, the critics all say that it's destined for a crash. There's no way that it's, because isn't it like, what's it at, like
right now it's around 13,000, 14,000.
Yeah, it was up to 16,000.
It topped over 20,000.
Yeah, and then it went right back down, but nevertheless,
2009 it was $3.
It's
fucking hate you, Linda.
It's insanely volatile.
I'm curious that if you had a bunch of that and you were going to go and sell it, who are you going to sell it to?
Anybody that accepts a debit card or uses merchant services for cryptos over the internet. Because you can get all your money.
Well, but if it's traded, you can sell it. Because you buy it like a commodity, so you can sell it like a commodity.
Yeah, you deposit into a wallet on one of these exchanges, and then you can just.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the currency itself. I'm talking about the security as a currency, because what's $16,000 is the security as a currency. It's looked at. So one Bitcoin's worth, 10 grand or something like that. So that security of Bitcoin is worth 10 grand. And the coin itself may be worth 10 grand. But my point is that if you're selling it on the open market, who's going to buy it? Is it something that's, if you want to buy Apple stock right now, it's whatever it is, $469 a share. You pay $469 a share for it. If you wanted to sell and you were at $13,000 a share of your Bitcoin, you had 10,000 shares, and you want to sell 1,000 of it, is Bitcoin different, that it's going to be negotiated down, or is it going to be exactly just like buying another commodity that you would have to pay that $13,000?
Well, that's the great thing about cryptos, is it's up to you. I mean, you can do pretty much whatever you want. You can either sell it on an exchange, you can sell peer to peer for under market, over market, whatever. There are some
ATMs that use Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, that's how I get mine.
You buy it at an ATM?
Yep.
And you buy fractional shares of it, right?
Yeah, I'll be like $40 at a time, something like that.
Boy, at $13,000 a share.
Yeah, it's 0.0002, something like that.
That's pretty cool. Where is there a Bitcoin?
This one is over in Aurora on the gas station on Hill Avenue when it comes around the bend.
Oh yeah,
there.
Right over there.
Yep, right in the middle of the hood. Yeah,
that's very bizarre. They got a Bitcoin.
It does seem like a strange location.
And you just buy it.
They don't have a Bitcoin ATM at Chase Bank.
No,
I'm surprised.
I'm pretty sure Chase would not want that competition. They can't compete.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I'm curious to see. I mean, it just seems. Generally, when things go that crazy, like Bitcoin has gone, there's usually something catastrophic that happens somewhere along the line.
Well, this is what we're saying right now is an adoption curve. More people are starting to get to hear about it. More people are starting to oh, this thing's worth a lot of money. Let me get a little bit in there. But I don't think most of them actually understand that it's meant to subvert the established economic system. I mean, the whole reason it was created was to make the U.S. dollar obsolete.
It will be interesting to see what kind of trading activity there is once the options open up, and what that's. It's been so incredibly volatile already to date, and what that's going to do to it.
I expect it's
because now you've got people that are going to speculate on,
on its failure,
on its
demise.
Volatility is why you get into options. You're either betting for or against without buying the actual commodity. So I would think that could tend to make it even more volatile.
Well,
so,
yeah.
I don't know.
If I was going to get into Bitcoin for real, I would buy options on its failure. Because I mean, on its decline, not that it's going to completely fail, but it would drop significantly.
But you have to have the timing right too. I mean, you can say, okay, I think long term it's just going to fall apart, but still you're going to buy a contract. The contract is for a finite period of time, so you might be right on the overall trend,
but not in a timeline.
But not within the 3-month contract or whatever period you.
That depends on the exchange that you go to. Like I usually use this is a federal offense, so but I usually use an exchange called BitMEX, and they're outside of U.S. jurisdiction. You have to use a VPN to even log on to them.
Okay, we're gonna don't mention that. That's one way to get us shut down quickly.
Well, the actual the contracts that you can get there, they're not for any. There's no finite set. Like you can just hold them as long as you want, but if you hold it too long and the price, say you're shorting it and the price starts going up, well, if it goes up too much, you get liquidated out and you no longer have the position.
Right. Well, that's the same in options.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing. So that's just the options.
Okay.
That are not U.S. regulated.
See, I never messed around with the whole stock exchange and all that stuff. So I'm just learning as I go.
But I'm curious to see where it goes. This video I watched was really interesting, and this guy who's in this is what he does for the. He's like, we don't understand how this is going to be able to sustain itself, and the actual cost of maintaining the servers that maintain this, kind of invisible currency.
Well, that's the thing about it. There's it's not centralized. There's no.
But they said
servers
that the amount of electricity. They got into this whole thing about the amount of electricity it takes to maintain this invisible currency is equal to or greater than the currency itself. So I was like, okay, now I'm lost. I don't know where the fuck to go in this conversation or even how to get my head around it. So I didn't spend a lot of time, and I didn't go back and do any homework on it because it might have just been some fucking crazy guy saying this, but he didn't look like it, and it didn't seem like the interview was with a nut job. So, but then again, I have you in the room.
Exactly.
So
I was just gonna say.
You're here, so
although as cryptos go, I mean, Bitcoin was the first to market, so that's where a lot of the value of it comes. More people are getting into cryptos as it's just Bitcoin. They don't understand there's thousands of different altcoins.
Right. There's not just Bitcoin.
2,000 or something
like that. Somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000.
There's that. Wait a minute. There's 2,000 different alternative currencies.
More than
yeah.
But what are you going to buy with them?
Like Shaq has his own. There's a Kobe coin. There's a what's
for real?
Yeah. There's an Obama coin. There's what was that? There's Canna coin. There's various.
You want a Dag coin?
Write it.
I want it to be worth $10 billion. One coin.
Made up bullshit. Why not have a Dag coin?
Throw it out there. Yep.
Maybe we'll make a Linda coin. Make mine worth $10 million and make yours worth $8.
Although if you guys want like a big, insider tips. Dash, Monero, these things, they're different types of cryptos that are built on better blockchains than Bitcoin. They do more stuff than Bitcoin does. Dash was designed specifically to be digital cash that you can instant point-to-point, zero to no fees, which is where blockchain or Bitcoin was originally. The fees were so small.
Zero to no fees is exactly how much in fees?
Zero.
Just
to
curious.
none.
Yeah, 0 to no fees.
It's the same, isn't it? I think 0 and
relatively.
None? Yeah, I think so.
0 to no fees. I want to know what that little minimalistic part is in 0 to no fees.
But yeah, they were basically designed to do what Bitcoin does, but better and more secure. Like Monero is way more privacy based and oriented. So, I mean, in the long run, sure, Bitcoin is going to have a lot of value because it was first to market. But once you get actual wide adoption, you have millions of people across, just in the U.S., just using it as everyday transactions, Bitcoin's going to die. At least in its current state.
Well, and I only have spent this much time reading up on it. But apparently thieves have figured out ways to steal Bitcoin also.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you don't keep your wallet
where is
secure,
your protection from that happening?
That's the point. Bitcoin is supposed to make you more responsible for your own money. You're not using a third party that's going to secure it and insure it. It's on you. It makes the individual have to be responsible. If you're not, well, you're out of luck. Don't be a dumbass.
Hey, by the way, I got to mention this, and we got to get better at mentioning this throughout the show. The MayhemUSA.com website is where you can always go back and see our shows. On January 1st, our broadcast will be simultaneous between YouTube and Facebook. And, just so you know. Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem on YouTube. Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem on YouTube. And then the Mayhem USA is our website. So you can go back and see past shows, make fun of Ken all you want.
Good luck.
And see me and Linda dress the same from
if
show
you
to
can actually offend me, I'll give you $5 in Bitcoin.
I don't think you can offend him. You can kind of annoy him, but I don't think you can really offend
I really do like the fact that you don't get too ruffled.
No, he actually doesn't. He really maintains his composure pretty well.
Because obviously, you're a smart man. You have strong convictions, but you don't.
He doesn't
get too worked up.
What's the fucking
Other people's
point?
opinions are their own. I'm not here to control them. I don't want to force people to agree with me. I want to convince them. And you don't convince people by being an asshole.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
All right. Well, then that fucks up my entire my entire life plan. Listen, I'm going to play one more song. We'll come back. We'll say goodbye. This is a Blackfire Pistol. You know what? No. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play
some Free Knots.
I'm going to play Royal Blood instead. This is a band that's two guys, just a drummer, but it's a drummer and a bass player. Really good band, and I think you guys will enjoy them. So here's a little Royal Blood for you. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay. See, I'm winding up right away. Right away. I didn't have this planned out right. Because I pulled it up late. But, just give me a second here, and I'll get this together.
1,000. You've got literally 1
Whatever.
second.
You guys can yell at me all you want. I don't care.
Rabble, 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 rabble.
No, Linda was turned off. All right, here it is. Here's Royal Blood. Lights out.
Picks me up, you just send me down. I can feel it rushing under my skin. You're a cage, won't you let me in? On my toes, lock the door. Pretty face, the walls, done
blood.
Getting it in there.
Love that.
You guys got to check out this
freaking
video. It's so cool. All the walls and the ceiling in the video
Yeah,
are made out of water. It's fucking
like
awesome.
it's like milk. It looked like milk in the video.
It did.
Royal Blood. Go check these guys out, man. Great band. Go ahead, talk amongst yourself. I mean, Ken wants to go out on a different song, so
did you
I
turn
gotta
my
change.
mic on again?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right.
See, that's why you need to wear your headphones. That way you
I
can
know.
hear when you've got the
I
mic.
don't like
That's what
wearing
they're for.
headphones.
Oh God, it messes
Well, you
up
can always
my
just
hay.
put it like behind like this. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, how do you
that's what I like
spell
to do.
this? How do you-
FREENAUGHTS. Free Knots. Crazy Sexy Rebel. Trust me, it'll be on there. It'll be on there. You just YouTube it, baby. And maybe YouTube will send them a little bit of yeah, there we go. This right here is my jam. I love this. I love this. I love this.
All right, well, listen. We got one show left before the holidays.
Okay.
And I'm going to be out of town, so we won't be here on Christmas Day.
Is that a Sunday?
Yeah, it is a Sunday.
I don't
right?
think that's
No. Christmas Eve is a Sunday.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, Christmas Day is a
Yes.
Monday. But we won't be here because I'm going to be in Nashville.
Okay.
And, everybody's going to be with family. So next week I thought we'd do some fun Christmas rock and have a little fun.
Are we going to have an ugly sweater contest next week?
I'll have mine.
We'll let the listeners vote on who has the worst.
I have a stupid Christmas sweater.
Okay, but that's the same.
I'm not quite sure where it's at, but
I think it's in the. We have it. I got it. I think we got
I'm
it.
not sure where it's at.
But anyway, so we're gonna go out here on Free Knots, Crazy Sexy Rebel. This is Ken's request here. So give me a second,
and take it with a grain of salt because you'll love it. But
I think I played it before. It was a pretty good tune.
Oh, yeah.
I think I did play it, unless it's going to get me just thrown off the fucking internet. But anyway, so this is Crazy Sexy Rebel by Free Knots. We'll be right back to say goodbye. So get a little bit of your knots free.
Make a blue collar empty his pocketbook. He in love with the thrill, but she don't love him, she in love with the world. Sexy tattoos on the back of the girl. Yeah, she is single, but don't wanna mingle. You give her your number, she give middle finger like, yeah. Tell me where have you been all of my life? You a libertarian, is that right? I don't want talk about no politics. Kool-Aid, you sugar, let me and you mix. Get together, I treat you right, but not like Cinderella. You a sexy, independent, intellectual. I hope your unmentionables are edible, incredible. I live against the grain, so that's the type of girl I need. A real deal rebel, she be living in anarchy. And I'ma do the same, and we'll be rolling, rolling, rolling. It ain't no one around that can hold her. I say, hold up, baby, got me riding around on motorbikes. I say, hold up, baby, that's the only type of girl I like. I say, hold up, baby, I've been waiting for you all my life. I say, hold up, baby, that's that crazy, sexy rebel life. You gon' need more than some money and a chain to get her. Say step your game up or forget her. You gotta be about that, it ain't pay to fuck with her. She an inner coat chick, always and forever. You checking that circle A tat on her arm. Don't get a fuck, no cause for alarm. No Molotovs here, just a little bit of fucking law here. We about peace, so we're all clear. Body up a dime, but her mind is a weapon. You gotta understand what she reppin'. Studying Spooner, studying rock bars, studying Mises. And the bass she'll tear you to pieces. She ride or die even if you fuck with weight. When the police come, she ain't got much to say. Game recognized, game give me just a taste. And I'ma give it to her like I'm trying to fuck the state. I live against the grain, so that's the type of girl I need. A real deal rebel, she be living in anarchy. And I'ma do the same, and we'll be rolling, rolling, rolling. It ain't no one around that can hold her. I say, hold up, baby, got me riding around on motorbikes. I say, hold up, baby, that's the only type of girl I like. I say, hold up, baby, I've been waiting for you all my life. I said, hold up, baby, that's that crazy, sexy rebel life.
Taxation is theft. Government is violence. It's time to free the market and free humanity.
Liberty, finally, is not a box into which people are forced. Liberty is a space in which people may live. It does not tell you how they will live. It says, eternally, only that we can.
I live against the grain, so that's the type of girl I need. A real
Freelance. Crazy Sexy Rebel. Listen, guys, thanks everybody for coming and paying attention to us today. And we will be back next week. And hopefully Saul will be here too to join us. And,
with his own ugly Christmas sweater.
With his own ugly Christmas sweater. And anyway, so yeah, get to the mayhemusa.com to watch the previous shows, learn new things we're doing. We're going to have a whole resource center there the 1st of January for bands, for, all kinds of shit related to the music industry. Anyway, thanks everybody for viewing us. Thanks, Linda, for showing up. Ken?
Make it blow.
Thanks for being our fearless leader and mix master.
Extraordinary.
And music curator.
I love you guys. It's a lot of fun doing this show, and I hope everybody is not blowing all their wad on Christmas presents this year. Spend time with your family, have a good time, and treat each other well. We'll talk to you later here at the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem. MayhemUSA.com.
Peace.
Peace. Huh? No, that didn't have anything to do with anything. I don't know why they said it was public.